This is Campus News, reporting the top stories from colleges and universities.
Next on Campus News.
One professor is weighing in on the overseas conflict and the impact it's having on everyone.
This tournament is putting these students' strategy skills to the test.
From rebounds to rehab, these MSUM athletes are stepping off the court so they can get back to the game.
Discos and divas. These performances are sure to get you standing on your feet. Good morning and welcome to Campus News. I'm Jade Milner.
And I'm Sayla Jakeway. Concerns continue to grow over rising tensions between Iran and Israel and their potential impact on global energy markets.
Reporter Jalen Wagner went to Concordia College and talked to a professor who explains how global energy systems are affected.
At Concordia College, political science professor Dr. Leila Zarkirova studies how global energy markets react when there is conflict in the Middle East. And the concern right now is where the oil is being shipped.
20% of the world's oil flows through this tiny, narrow choke point, maritime choke point through the Strait of Hormuz. So this is significant because when you have 20% less oil powering the global economy, that means other economies get affected.
And when that much of the world's oil supply is affected, it can be felt across economies worldwide.
When oil prices go up, it also seems the global economy historically contracts. Like when oil prices are too high, people are not buying as much, they're not driving as far. And so when everything's expensive, right, you sort of stop engaging. And so it could potentially lead to a global economic recession.
And even if fighting were to stop soon, she said it would take time for shipping routes to fully recover.
If the war were to stop today, it would take weeks, if not months, to get it back up to, get the Strait of Hormuz flowing.
With photographer Celia Berkey, Jalen Wagner, Campus News.
Dr. Leila Zakirova is the co-author of Racing to the Top, a book on how access to energy has shaped global power. Florida's Attorney General is investigating OpenAI over whether the company bears criminal responsibility for a campus shooting last year. Phoenix Eckner has pleaded not guilty to killing 2 people and injuring 6 others on the Florida State University campus a year ago. The Attorney General's office wants to determine if OpenAI ChatGPT allegedly helped the suspect carry out the crime. Florida's AG says Inker asked ChatGPT questions before the shooting. The chatbot allegedly advised Inker on weapons and ammunition, what time of the day would be best for a shooting, and which location on campus would have the most people.
Breaking into the workforce isn't just competitive, it's changing. And some applicants are running into a new obstacle before they ever get an interview. I spoke with experts to explore the evolving world of AI in the workforce. More than 2 million college undergrads are expected to graduate in 2026, each one hoping to land their first career job. But for many, that excitement is quickly turning into frustration.
The unemployment rate and the underemployment rate for new grads is high. And when employers want someone that has years of experience with a particular skill, it is going to be those new grads that are disproportionately affected.
And it's not just experienced professionals they're competing with. Some of their biggest competition aren't even human.
With the field of software engineers, programmers, stuff like that, is that because AI can do so much more, that what they're finding is that they're just not really hiring.
Artificial intelligence is changing the hiring process on both sides. Companies are using AI to sort through applications faster, but that speed can come with unintended consequences.
There's been some bigger lawsuits coming out lately around ageism, right? Of like, if you're 40 or over or 60 or over, depending on the company, you get an auto rejection email automatically.
With the odds stacked higher, how can new graduates stand out in a system that may be filtering them out before a human ever sees their name?
Looking at the qualifications or skills section for what kind of skills or terms you're seeing there and making sure you're including those is going to be great for applicant tracking systems, but also for AI, because a lot of times when they do use AI, they'll be telling the AI what skills they're looking for.
As artificial intelligence continues to reshape the hiring process, experts say understanding how these systems work could be the key to getting your foot in the door. With photographer Jalen Wagner, Selah Jakeaway, Campus News. As of 2026, over 92,000 tech employees were laid off, with AI cited as a contributing factor for roughly 40 to 50%. And 2 University Wisconsin students pulled a man from an apartment fire in La Crosse. The students were at an apartment when they noticed smoke coming from a nearby building. When they went to check things out, they found that the building was on fire. They immediately started trying to alert residents by knocking on the doors. Then they noticed a man trapped by a bottom window. The two broke the window screen and pulled the man to safety with the help of others.
Initially, we just thought to run over and check it out just to see what was going on. The smoke really started to build up and the fire started to expand. So we all kind of started to back up because it really caught a blaze. And some lady yelled there's a dude in the bottom window. When he got to his door, there was smoke coming in, the door handle was hot. He kind of came running back over, and that was when me and my friend knew we had to bust open the screen and pull him out.
The students say they are proud of themselves for stepping in to help.
Cybercrime cost victims $16 billion in 2024, and the threat continues to grow. MSUM is responding with a new cybercrime degree launching in fall 2026. Reporter Hallie Sanders shows how students will be trained to fight back.
Look at somebody that they've never met.
MSUM is bringing the fight against cybercrime into the classroom, introducing a new major coming to campus this fall.
It's not all what we see on TV. It's not all what we hear on the podcasts.
The new cybercrime degree combines criminal justice, cybersecurity, and legal studies. Dr. Karen Brandon says it gives students the tools to take on cybercrime, from hacking and phishing to fraud and data theft.
We really have this nice interdisciplinary approach. We really pull different places together. Rather than saying, here's a major, here's a major, here's a major, we're saying, here's a problem in our communities.
Dr. Brandon says with the shortage of law enforcement and resources, especially in rural areas, there's growing need for cybercrime professionals, with thousands of job openings across Minnesota.
So it's really important to have this in our region because we can offer this to our people in our communities.
Crime is increasingly happening behind the computers, with most cases leaving a digital footprint. In cybercrime class, students are learning how to follow those clues by working active missing person cases.
It's staying with something. It's being patient, breathing, staying with it, and taking time. And I think that's a good lesson for students to learn.
For students, the new major opens doors to unique opportunities.
I think that any person who is interested in computers or interested in getting down to the nitty-gritty online would be really good for it.
With technology constantly evolving, learning how to respond is becoming more important.
So I feel like it's our job to give students an opportunity to stay caught up and to get ahead and to actually be able to combat that space.
With photographer Celia Bierke, Hallie Sanders, Campus News.
MSUM says the new degree will be one of the only programs in the region to combine criminal justice and cybersecurity into a single major. MSUM hosted its annual Earth Day celebration in Comstock Memorial Union. The event was set up by the Sustainable Students Association and offered hands-on activities, eco-friendly crafts, interactive booths, and a free salad bar. It included local businesses, student groups, and community organizations. Event staff say Earth Day is an opportunity to think about preserving life.
Earth Day is a day to reflect and think about the different ways that we can make life more sustainable for people on Earth. So yeah, it's a day that means a lot.
Event organizers say one of the best ways to support sustainability is to shop locally, which also will benefit the community. Students and scholars gathered for MSUM's 28th annual Student Academic Conference, showcasing research and ideas across a range of disciplines. Reporter Carter Powell was there and brings us a closer look at the work and voices behind the event.
It was a chance for presentations, discussions, and collaboration as students filled Comstock Memorial Union for MSUM's Student Academic Conference. Among those leading the conversation was this year's keynote speaker, Jake Punzak,
I'm so honored to be here today.
Who has a special connection with those participating.
I had previously presented at this very conference, so it's great to be able to give back and relive some of those fun experiences.
Allison Root is one of the students participating in the conference. Her project is about the difference between turf and grass fields and how they affect non-contact leg injuries. For Allison, sharing her work comes with its own challenges.
It's definitely a little bit intimidating, but I feel like I put in the work to look at it, so I might as well explain it to people and get them to understand.
For Allison, that understanding comes from months of research and preparation.
Ours was kind of spread out through the whole semester. We had one class designated towards research, and we'd get like 1 or 2 assignments a week where we'd have to get further in our project. And then by the end of the semester, we'd completed it.
After months of preparation, students say the experience is worth it.
I think it's super fun. I worked super hard on this poster and this presentation, and it's cool to share my knowledge with others.
It's more than presentations and posters. It's a space where ideas connect, confidence grows, and students learn from each other. With photographer Zach Sweary, Carter Powell, Campus News.
The conference lasted over 6 hours and had 222 projects that were on display.
Community members were able to support small businesses at an indoor farmers market at Concordia College. More than 35 vendors attended the event, selling bakery items, household goods, arts, food, and more. Local musicians played for shoppers, and Concordia held a social for alumni and community leaders. Event organizers say the farmers market is an opportunity for both shoppers and vendors.
And it's all made locally, which is awesome, just to support different growers and makers and local businesses in our area.
Moorhead Mayor Shelley Carlson and Concordia President Colin Irvine attended the event. One professor at Concordia College is spreading his love for science and through experiments that all ages can enjoy.
To find out what happens when the safety glasses go on, reporter Nick Cohen took a trip to Moorhead Elementary School.
All right, safety glasses on.
Long after the bell of the school day, students are piling back into the classroom at Robert Asp Elementary in Moorhead. They're here to learn from Dr. Graham Wiley, who has spent 20 years teaching students, big and small.
On the back of this lab coat that I'm wearing right now, it says Science for Everybody, and that's really our mission statement. We will provide science experiences for everybody. Pour all of the liquid into the dish. Can you do that for me?
Graham hopes to make memorable experiences for the kids by providing hands-on entertainment.
There's color changes, there's bubbles, things heat up, things change color, all kinds of different things like that. And it's that moment of wow.
I mean, he's always so creative with the experiments, and he knows like what the kids are gonna like.
Sometimes the science isn't the only memorable thing.
He says he would die.
The thing is, when I said die, I actually meant D-Y-E.
It's actually just a joke.
For some, Graham's work with the Concordia Science Academy can leave an impression that stays while the safety glasses go.
I kind of date myself a wee bit. A lot of my students have had that science moment when they were first grade, when I came in and did science with them as well.
Even if they don't come to him, Graham will share science with all students.
So we don't want to be just trapped in the laboratory at Concordia. Let's make science accessible. As I keep saying, science for everybody. That's really what I believe in. If you can throw your safety glasses back on the box on the way out.
Nate Cohen, Campus News.
The Concordia Science Academy does outreach science visits at elementary schools and community events across the region. A university in the Canadian province of Nova Scotia offered an unusual way for students to distress during exam season. Acadia University brought in snakes. One student hung out with the reptiles for an hour before a final exam and said it offset the exam stress. Another student called the snakes calming and adorable. The university's academic librarian said whether students are relaxed or rattled by the snakes, they're definitely a distraction. And the operator of the company that brought the snakes in acknowledges some people might find snakes more distressing than de-stressing, but he says they're actually very, very pleasant to work with.
Students at Minnesota State University Moorhead gathered for a chess tournament focused on more than just competition, highlighting community, inclusivity, and trying something new.
Inside the Student Center at MSUM, students of all skill levels sit across from one another, each move bringing them closer to victory.
Some people play to have fun like me, but a lot of people here play to win. So it's competitive, it's high stakes, it's really exciting to be here.
But this tournament isn't just about winning. Organizers say the goal is to create a welcoming space where anyone can play, whether they are a beginner or a seasoned competitor.
I love that people who have nothing in common come and sit down at the same table and play just for the love of the game.
Events like this are a part of a larger effort by campus groups to build inclusive social spaces.
That way, the community here don't feel like they are excluded in any way, shape, or form. This is a game. They can just come in and play, and make friends with other people, creating community.
Whether they came to compete or try something new, students here say the real win is finding a sense of community, one move at a time.
It's always great, and with schools especially, if there's visitors to campus, people who are doing tours, you really get like an actual real life glimpse, not just this performance. It's really nice.
With photographer Sayla Jakeway,
I don't think any of us are grandmasters though.
Cora Bowl, Campus News.
The tournament was open to all students. And at MSU Moorhead, students spent an evening stepping into a world of adventures and quest. It was all part of the Dungeons and Dragons Club event called Jester's Gambit. Both beginners and experienced players were able to immerse themselves in the world of D&D. In the game, a dungeon master guides players throughout their journey, and the outcome depends on the choices they make.
What I love about Dungeons and Dragons, because I basically can give my players freedom of doing whatever they want, and me allowing them to be like, yeah, because it's just that funness.
Dungeons and Dragons has been around since the 1970s, but has grown in popularity after being featured in the Netflix series Stranger Things. A former MSUM quarterback is on his way to compete for a spot in the NFL. Jack Strand is signing with the Atlanta Falcons as an undrafted free agent after the NFL draft was completed. Strand finishes his college career as a four-time All-SEC selection and two-time Conference Offensive Player of the Year. The 6'5" quarterback visited the Falcons and the Carolina Panthers before the NFL draft. The Falcons start organized teams activities on May 18th and mandatory minicamp in mid-June.
With Strand going to the NFL, MSU Moorhead's football team will have a new look at the quarterback position, but that isn't the only change ahead. Reporter Nathan Stang takes us to the Dragons' annual spring game to see what lies ahead for the fall.
After ending the season at 8-3 last year, the MSUM football team is looking to build off that success. This fall, the Dragons will have a young roster. That makes the spring game important as they prepare for the upcoming season.
Well, I think today that was another step forward for this team growing up. I think when you graduate 24 seniors, you're kind of young now, you're trying to find a new identity, and so I think some of these guys really stepped into the situation of being leaders.
One of the biggest transitions comes at the quarterback position. With standout quarterback Jack Strand graduating, the Dragons are looking for a new leader under center.
Well, it's definitely competitive. I think he did a good job, Jack did, leaving the quarterback room with a lot of a recipe and a roadmap for how to succeed. But now these guys have to own it. They have to step into the roles. They got to handle the pressure that comes with that.
That next wave of talent includes 3 redshirt freshmen, Joe Kale, Madden Riggs, and Drew Hubner, all saw reps at quarterback during the spring game. It also provides younger players across the roster with more opportunities to showcase themselves.
It was good. Redshirting as coming in as a freshman, I didn't really get a whole lot of experience on the field. So kind of this spring ball, getting more reps, kind of getting more reps with some of the starters and, getting that experience.
Heading into the fall, attention turns to how this young roster will come together once the season begins.
Fans should definitely be looking forward to a team that plays together with a lot of energy. We're very unified. We don't leave a lot of people out, so a lot of energy working as a team.
With each pass, catch, and tackle, this young Dragon team continues to grow and develop as it prepares for the upcoming season. With photographer Dallas Correll, Nathan Stang, Campus News.
The MSUM Dragons opened their season in August at home against Northern Michigan University. MSUM has recently expanded its Human Performance Lab, giving athletic science students real-world experience in health and human performance careers. The lab gets students hands-on learning with advanced fitness testing equipment. Students perform tests on body composition, flexibility, muscle strength, muscle endurance, and cardiovascular health. The lab offers 6 different kinds of equipment that can be used for health testing on students, athletes, and community members. The new space is 4 times bigger with an added meeting room and designed dressing room for participants.
Hands-on experience, I think, is the best kind of experience. You've got to come in and actually be physical with the machines rather than just reading about them in a textbook, I think is much more beneficial.
Students in the exercise testing and interpretation class will examine and interpret the results from the lab. 2 MSUM athletes have taken a step back from basketball after injuries have kept them off the court. I sat down with the duo to get a closer look at the recovery process. MSUM basketball players and roommates Will Kinsey and Adam Jenkins have both been faced with the challenge of being injured during their season. Adam is recovering from hip surgery after finding out the severity of his injury towards the end of the season.
Both my hips had torn labrums and cam lesions, so pretty much like the protective padding around like the joint was like shred, looked like cotton in the x-ray.
For Will, his injury has kept him out of the game since the start of the year.
Fracture in my low back, it's from spondylolisthesis. So the fracture in my vertebrae caused a slippage. So I have degenerative disc, and then I have spondylolisthesis and spondylolisthesis at my L5 to S1 vertebrae.
Both athletes have been receiving daily rehabilitation on campus at the Sanford Athletic Training Facility.
I got to do just back strengthening and core stability just to really make up for the lack of stability that I have with the fracture.
MSUM athletic trainer Alex Bertram has been there to support the athletes step by step on their way to recovery.
You can set short-term goals for them to kind of achieve, and then that way it's just kind of a one foot in front of the other until you're achieving your final goal of coming back.
Although their injuries have kept them separated on the court, you will find them side by side on the sidelines.
Ooh, dunk that. Yeah, Soren! Oh!
But sitting out of the game is never easy for the determined duo.
And it's kind of hard when you think you can do it, but you physically can't. So that's kind of just like a hump you got to get over at first.
It's been a bummer, like just watching practice and stuff, but you know, I understand my role and I just got to get better.
With photographer Lexi Hills, Jade Milner, Campus News. Will is graduating this spring, and Adam is hoping to be cleared to play by the fall.
MSUM hosted its 4th annual Polar Plunge event that had students and staff get out of the classroom and into the water. The event is in partnership with the Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union. The goal is to raise money for Special Olympics Minnesota. 116 students, athletes, and faculty members took the jump into a mobile plunge unit at Nimzik Hall. The funds will cover cost of year-round sports programs, health screenings, and athletic competition for children and adults with intellectual disabilities. MSUM raised nearly $11,000 this year for the organization.
It humbles you, obviously, because you're freezing cold, it takes your breath away, but just to serve others and to realize you're part of something bigger than yourself when you're a dragon.
This year's plunge was a competition between MSU Moorhead, Bemidji State, and Winona State for total funds raised by one of the 3 universities. And North Dakota State University's Blue Key Honor Society is turning entertainment into impact with its annual philanthropy event. Students gathered for a night of fun and fundraising, all in support of a cause helping families across the state. NDSU's chapter of Blue Key hosted its annual Bison Brevities event, featuring 7 acts and a silent auction. Student performances included magic musical acts ranging from banjo and trombone to original songs, along with skits performed by members of the Honor Society, and even a human fountain. All proceeds from the event will go towards Maya's Mission, a North Dakota nonprofit supporting people with addiction and mental health challenges. And what started as a chance to try something new has turned into something much bigger for one MSUM student finding identity, community, and spotlight through drag.
Reporter Hallie Sanders brings us inside this year's drag show.
From student to performer,
husband is coming.
Now host. Drag artist Prima Donna was center stage at MSUM's annual drag show. Prima Donna began doing drag at MSUM 2 years ago.
So it's crazy that
Now I have the mic and I have all the power. I'm just kidding.
What started as a simple opportunity quickly became something more. First a passion, then a community.
At first, I thought it was a hobby, which it is, but it's a hobby that is also now part of me.
When not on stage, Prima Donna is an MSUM senior majoring in film and animation. Balancing both roles isn't always easy.
It's hard. It's hard being a student doing drag. Sometimes you gotta choose the gig or the test that's due tonight.
As a performer, Prima Donna hopes to create opportunities for others.
I just hope people in the audience who thought about doing drag or wants to see more of drag in general, either being in it or being an audience member, can do that.
For Prima Donna and other students, events like this are more than performances. They're a form of expression and connection.
I think it's so cool to see how many people come up and just support each other and are here to have a good time.
It's that sense of support and visibility that continues to grow the drag community on campus.
Whoever you are and you want to be on that stage and show what you got, that's what drag is. It's not like a box. So I feel like, a lot of people see boy to girl and that's drag. But at least here in the Fergamora area, drag is a spectrum.
With photographer Celia Bierke, Hallie Sanders, Campus News.
Alongside Prima Donna, there were 3 other performers, all of them current MSUM students. Well, everyone, that's this edition and this season of Campus News.
We leave you with more of the talent showcase at this year's Bison Brevities event.
Thanks so much for joining us this year and for another season of Campus News. Have a great week.
Campus News is produced by the Television News Workshop in the School of Communication and Journalism at Minnesota State University Moorhead, in cooperation with Prairie Public Television.